Hey, boos. Now, first off, trigger warning. Trigger warning. Y'all, this man is telling his story of being essayed when he was young, like 4 years old. We don't hear about this often from men. This is something that they do not talk about because they feel like, hell, as a man, they're not allowed to. They're not supposed to. Today, we are going to hear it from a man's point of view, things he went through, and how he handled it. But I know these types of stories ain't for everybody. So go on and click off if this ain't your thing. And I understand, boo. Okay? I still love you. Now, for those that can't handle it, let's get into it.
This is my story time on how I was at 4 years old several times by this sick ass man right here whose name is Marshall Smith. Here's the story. Okay, so before I start the story, y'all, I am one of those people who I have like a nervous laugh. Like when I get awkward or in moments that are just like uncomfortable for me, I might laugh or smile. So if you see me laughing or smiling at any part of this story, just know I'm probably uncomfortable. So this was a cousin, my mom's cousin, who was staying with us. And at the time,
Women, we gotta stop just letting people stay with us and stop just leaving our kids with any and everybody. And mama, you used to let a lot of people stay with us too. Y'all, we can't be doing that. We don't know these people like that. Cousins, uncle, brothers. I don't give a damn. I don't know you like that. Okay, and I got babies. My babies still babies. They can tell me what's going on. My babies talk like we be talking, but still.
it was me, my brother, and then I had a sister who was like just born. So she was in the room with my mom and my dad. Me and my brother, on the other hand, we slept in the same room. So when this guy, and we don't know him, I don't know him as Marshall. Our family knows him as Puddin'. They call him Puddin', like the snack, like Puddin'. And so me and my brother has our own room. So of course, if he comes and stays with us, like you would think he would either sleep on the couch or, I guess, in the boys' room. So he slept in the boys' room, in our room. So how this was is I slept on the bottom bunk. My brother slept on the top bunk. So he always slept on my bunk of the bed. Hold up. He always slept on my bunk of the bed, and I tell people all the time, like, I remember this so vividly. Like, I literally still remember, like, what he used to do when he was started or the process. So what it was is, of course, like, my mom and my dad would go to bed. I'm going to tell you about the first day. So my mom and my dad went to bed, and I remember I was laying in my bed, and my brother was woke in the bed above me or whatever, and he got in my bed, and he started like pulling my underwear down. And again, y'all, like I'm 4 years old, so it's so uncomfortable. Like it really is, y'all. It's very uncomfortable telling this story because I've never said it like publicly, and I know that this is gonna be seen by people. So I'm just uncomfortable, guys. Like, please don't judge me. I really am. Like, I'm just uncomfortable. But I have been wanting to do this story for so long. Like, I have people who know me personally know the story already, but. So he got into, like I said, he got into my bed, and I remember him, like, pulling my pants down. And then my brother started moving on the bed above me. And I remember him getting up. We had, like, this fan. I don't know if y'all remember them little old school fans, but we had this fan in the room, basically, and the fan makes a lot of noise. So he got up, like, oh, like he forgot something, but he got up, he went to turn the fan on, and then he got back into the bed. And I remember, like, and I'll never forget, like, him getting back into that bed and, like, continuing doing what he was doing. And I just felt like something, like, poking me. Like, that's really all I can say. Like, I just felt that. And I remember, like, because, y'all, this became like an everyday thing. And so I don't know how long he lived with us, but I just remember so many nights it became like a routine to where he would turn the fan on and he would pretty much just do the same thing. But like I said, on his first night, I remember like I just felt something like poking me in my area of my butt, and I felt him like opening my cheeks up, like, and I just remember.
I didn't know it was gonna be this graphic, y'all. This is low-key disturbing, but this man wanted his story out here. He told it for a reason. He wants this man's face put out here, and I'm gonna help him do it. Period. I know that this is disturbing some of y'all, because hell, I am disturbed, so it's got to be disturbing you a little bit or something if you any type of human. But no, let's put Puddin's face out here, okay? Puddin.
Just remember him trying to stick his thing inside of me. Like, I will never forget this. I'll never forget what I felt like in that moment. And at 4 years old, you would think that so a child doesn't even understand really what's going on, and I didn't understand what was going on, but I did feel like I knew something wasn't right about this. Like, and we'll get into how I ended up telling my parents and how it ended up coming out and a whole story. This story is definitely going to be one of those ones that has parts to it, by the way. So I remember that, and he used to literally like, now that I'm older, I understand it. I didn't understand it at the time, but he literally used to like try to like, stick his thing inside of me. Of course, it would not do that. And so he would literally just end up like jacking off. And I remember, I swear to God, y'all, I remember I used to always be like, this wet stuff on me, like, and that's not, like I said, now that I'm older, I understand, like, he was, you know what I'm saying, on me after, like, he was ready to stop. And then we would go to sleep. And
It makes me wonder, why did he want to put his story out here other than putting this man's face out there, and possibly ruining his life and reputation. Other than that, I wonder why he wanted to put his story out there. Is it like maybe therapeutic? Is it this a relief for him? I'm just curious.
and that's what the first time was. And literally, I just remember it happened so many times after that. Like, I remember one time my brother accidentally, he thought my brother was asleep, and my brother jumped down on the bunk, and he like jumped, and he like started screaming at my brother, like, get back up there, get back up there. And I remember I was like, damn. In my head, I was like, I'm telling you, I was a smart kid. Like, I knew something was wrong about this. Like, I just knew something was wrong, because it's like, he would only sneak and try to do this. He would only try to, it's like it just was a sneakingly type of thing. The way it happened, the way, I just knew. I was a very smart kid. So, like, I just knew that this is wrong. This is not right. At the same time, it was like, I'm a child. So, like, I don't really know what's going on. Like, I don't even know that, this is an adult act. I just know that, I just knew something was wrong. And so, as I said, y'all, like, this would happen, like, I can't tell you how many nights, but I know that it was a lot of nights. Like, I know that it was a lot of nights. I just remember he had a routine. Like, he would get up, cut that fan on. If he could, cut the TV on. He would always make sure my brother is asleep, checking up there, making sure the door is locked. He would walk out my room, because our room sat right outside the living room, and my parents' room was right across. We lived in an apartment at the time. And so if they would have walked in, like, it would have been an easy thing. You really wouldn't have heard, but he would always make sure that door is locked. Like, he had a routine, and he wouldn't take too long. This whole thing will probably go on maybe like 10 minutes. 10 minutes max. It was something that he would get in there, do quickly, and try to be done as long as he could. But I remember, y'all, when one day I finally said something to my parents, to my dad, actually. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember me saying something along the lines of like, he has something poking me or something like that. And my dad was like, "What are you talking about?" He was making me show him like, where on my body am I talking about? What am I talking about? Like, and I remember I showed like, my butt like here. Like, and he was like, "Is he pulling your?" He's asking me questions, like questions, like, or is somebody messing with you? Is somebody playing with you down there? Or somebody pulling your pants down?" And I'm just answering the questions, like, yes, yeah. And they're like, "Who?" And then, like I said, y'all, we don't call him Marshall, we call him Puddin'. And I remember saying Puddin', and all I remember, y'all, is one day. I remember this day I said this to my dad. I remember it was cops at our house. My mom, everybody was heated, pissed the fuck. It was. I just remember like it was. All I remember is red and blue lights. It was a lot going on. Like my dad was heated. Like they had to calm my dad down. I think my dad damn near got arrested, literally. But my dad ended up knocking him out. My mom stopped talking to him, of course. But it just became this big thing in the family, and like he wanted to kill me, honestly. That was the thing. There's the second part of this story. For like when he went to jail, after he got out of jail, he was like, my real name is Ashton. So he's like, "Where's Ashton at?" Like he wanted to come find me to unalive me for telling this story. And mind you, y'all, like this happened when I was 4. I'm 28 years old, finna be 29 in 2 days.
How you coming out asking where this boy is and you was touching him at 4? He was and you mad at him? You people be crazy. See, some people just need to DIE. Some people just don't deserve to be on this planet. Take him off.
Since then, my story's the same. I can draw the picture out for you if you need to. That's how this really is. Okay, guys, this is part 2 of my story on how I was by this man, Marshall Smith. Y'all, I'm gonna try to tell this story as much as I can. But like I said, this story is very triggering for me. So if I
Men, it's okay to cry. Not on camera. Okay? Don't get it mistaken. Women, men, we shouldn't be crying on camera. Some problems we need to just take it to God. But men, it's okay to cry. It is okay to cry. Don't teach your boys that they're not allowed to cry. Let them express their emotion. Let them get that stuff off their chest so they don't go put their paws on somebody. Men, cry. You're human. Get it out.
it's just a lot for me because it really I really feel like this whole situation changed my life. And for me to be so young and so, I just will never understand it. And to this day, I have a child, and I just couldn't imagine my son going through, what I've went through and what I've had to go through in my life, just dealing with this and the thoughts and all this shit has triggered me so bad. I'm 29 years old today, and this happened to me when I was 4, and I'm still so triggered by this. But as I was saying on the last part, I ended up telling my dad, and my dad ended up knocking him out. And he ended up going to jail for a few years, I want to say. I don't really know how long, or I don't really know if anything was ever even fucking proven. But as far as like legal wise, but I do know that he was arrested. He went to jail. I don't know how long, but I do remember when I was like 7 or 8 years old, he was getting out of jail. And I remember I was at my great aunt's house. Like I had a great aunt house who was like the matriarch of the family. And so, like we would all, be at her house. And so I can't even tell this story. Y'all, I'm trying. I really can't tell this story. It's just a lot for me. But we were at her house, and I just remember them calling like, "You got to get under the bed." Like I got to get under the bed. Like he trying to come me or something. Like, nigga, you did this shit to me. I didn't, like, I'm a child. Like,
That has got to be one of the most traumatizing things, to have gone through something like that at age 4, and this very same man is still haunting you. But now he not only after your booty hole, now he after your life, because you exposed him for wanting that booty hole. You people out here are straight lunatics. You deserve to be in a mental asylum, psych ward, whatever it's called. Y'all need to be put away. Some of y'all just need to be electrocuted. I can only imagine how scary that must have been for him. And where are the adults that are supposed to be protecting him? Why are y'all telling this young boy to hide instead of rallying together, getting ready to pow Puddin's ass?
I didn't ask for none of this. Like this was, I never asked for this, and so I remember my parents like rushing to come pick me up, but they didn't know if he was gonna beat them to me, and so like they made me hide under the bed and everything. Like that was his mission. Like I'm coming to kill Ashton. Like I'm sorry, I can't say that word. I'm coming to unalive Ashton, and like you know, it just was like mentally, even that was just a lot for me as a child. Imagine being 7 and you told you gotta go do this to protect yourself so that you're not harmed over you telling your truth or what actually happened to you. And so I feel like, as I was saying earlier, like that changed my life because you have to think about it. Like when you a child, like you don't really know what you like. You don't really know what it is. You don't really know what any of this shit is. And so when you introduce at such a young age of any type of, you know, and especially when it's a consistent thing like this was, like I said, like I told you on the last story, like that happened, that was the first night. But it was a routine, literally the same thing. Like it went on. However long he stayed with us is how long that shit was happening. I remember multiple times, like this happened multiple times. But hold on, y'all, I need a break. Y'all, y'all gonna be so mad at me, but I literally cannot finish the story. It's just too much for me right now. Like my voice is literally cracking as I speak. So I'm gonna pause it for here. So in the last part I was at, it was like me getting under the bed and everything. And this is gonna be kind of quick, y'all, because I gotta wrap this up because I feel like I can barely get on this TikTok because I'm keep having to relive this. And yeah, like I'm ready to start being able to post other videos outside of this one because this is a lot for me. But like I said in my previous video I just posted, like I really appreciate you guys. Like even it doesn't matter, you know, crying is good for the spirit. I'm tired of crying about it. Like it's like, you know, it's nothing y'all are doing.
When y'all tell y'all stories, y'all gotta be prepared for people to want to know more, for people to want to have details. We want to know. We're curious.
Y'all are doing. Y'all are helping me seriously, but I'm just saying, like me personally, like I can't keep talking about this situation. Like it's keeping me in a depressing state. Since I brought this story up for the past 2 days, like I've been feeling very depressed. Even now, damn, I thought I wasn't gonna cry, and I'm feeling like I want to cry right now. That's crazy. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish the story. Lord Jesus help me. Okay, so I did get under the bed and everything, but my parents did come pick me up. He never came. Somebody did call and inform us that he was coming, but my parents came and got there, and then he never, like I said, he never ended up coming anyways. The family never protected me from him. We just never saw him again. Like, we never saw him again. He kind of just disappeared from the family for years. He didn't show up to any functions, any events. I've never ran into this man in the last 25 years.
He's one of the lucky survivors because a lot of them stick around and linger and just continue to torture you. But Puddin knew what was up. He knew you couldn't come back around the family. We know who you are. We know what you are. Be gone, stay gone. That's all you can do and be.
5 years. I've never seen him again. No one brings him up around me. However, the family was still dealing with him, how they were. Like, not my family, like my mom, my dad, like, you know, me, not my immediate family. No one ever dealt with him. After that day, it kind of, you know how it happens in the black household, it kind of got brushed under the rug. We didn't really talk about it more. We never really, like, I didn't go into any therapy as a child or nothing like that. Not that I can remember, but I never did any of that. My parents was, I had young parents, so my parents were literally doing the best they could do, seriously. So I would never put that on my parents, like, you know, you should. Like, my mama had me at 18, like, let's be real. Okay, she was 21, 22, 23, trying to deal with her child being while working 2 jobs. She already had another child. She had 2 kids already. One of her kids died, one of her sons, another older brother died before me. Like, my mom was going through a lot as a young child. So, you know, she didn't have the money like that. She didn't, you know, she it was a lot. So I don't blame her for that at all. Basically, my parents did everything they could do to make me forget that ever even happened to me. I think that's what they wanted, though. I think they thought if they did put pressure on it that I would have to remember it and keep reliving it. So they literally did everything they could do to make me forget that it ever happened. But I never forgot it happened because this is my life. It actually happened. But I appreciate them for that. You know, they continue to try to shield me. Like, I had a great childhood. Like, you know, like I said, I had a young mom, but my mom was like on her shit. So she got on her shit very quickly, like, and our lives changed. And yeah, I don't really blame my parents for any of that situation. Like, only thing I hated with my mom is, like, she was just always too quick to let somebody move in with us. Like, stop. Y'all gotta stop doing that with y'all, and y'all have kids. Like, stop letting people live with y'all. Stop letting people, like, give them other resources. But living with you should be the last thing that you want to do, because you have situations like this. You don't know what the fuck is going on in somebody's head. You don't know what they thinking, what they got going on, what sickness they have in their brain and their body. You don't know, and you're not around them 24/7. So stop doing that. But like I said, my parents did everything they could. As far as me and my adult life now, life has went on to be pretty great for me.
Homeboy basically said it all. He said everything that I would have said, okay? Stop letting people move in with y'all. You don't know these people? You don't know what's going on in their head. I do want to know what you think of this, though. How do you feel about hearing it from a man? Marshall Puddin. How you feel about that man? I'm just glad that Marshall's face is put out there. Y'all share this, okay? Let's plaster this man's face. Share his face on your Facebook and let the world know this man liked to mess with little 4-year-old boys in their booty, and then he liked to make threats to come after them when he get out of jail for it. I do think that the man made the threat. He didn't go through with it because he ain't want to end up back in jail. But I do believe that he probably did make a threat. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past his ugly, but that's for sure. I don't think that this guy was the first kid that he did that to. I think that it was the first kid that came out, exposed him. And good on you, boo. Okay, I know it's hard on you, but keep telling your story, because this can be therapeutic. Since you didn't get no actual therapy, which you still need to get because you are still going through this at this big age. Get you some therapy, continue to heal, and let's just continue to putting Marshall's face out there. And that's what I got on it. If you like this video, hell, don't nobody like this video. Obviously, we don't like the video. But for me, y'all, let's pretend and let's click the like button. You know what I'm saying? Because it helps me. And let it be known that I appreciate all the likes, clicks, and shares and everything that y'all do to help grow this channel. And I hope to catch you in the next one, boo. Love you.